Oh, hey guys. Didn't see you there. Today we have a little bit more of a theoretical or nerdy topic, not a kit breakdown or anything like that. Today I want to squabble about ATAK or ITAK in Airsoft. It's hard to get these things out actually. If you ever considered getting ATAK, ITAK for your LARP experience, this video is for you if you're unsure about trying it out, or you just want to listen to me yap about this topic. Yeah, you've come to the right spot. You've come to the right video. Okay, let's just go over my personal setup really quick. I have a old iPhone 8 in a Repro Juggernaut mount from FMA. Now you might ask me, hey Blauling, why did you replace your navboard flip light with where you could keep your personal phone with a older phone and a older design? Well, first of all, I like the option of the bungee when it comes to mounting or securing my phone, simply because it's quieter and simpler than having to rip off the Velcro closure, and it also looks cooler. Secondly, because I can take this thing off and just hand it off to, I don't know, my team leader or someone, so I can show him, for example, where we are going, and we don't have to avoid kissing while looking at the same screen. This happened, at least the kissing part. Well, sadly that didn't. Anyways, today I just want to go over the topic of ITAK, ATAK, TAK in general for Airsoft. In an effort to heighten my production quality, I've actually made some notes this time. It's not that many, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, the actual use case for ATAK, as far as I understand it in the military space, is to coordinate and orientate yourself in an environment, and also plan with or for your squad / battalion, whatever. With ITAK or ATAK, you can see where your teammates are if they're connected to your server. What that is, I'll get to later. You can see the map and where you are on the map, which is really useful, trust me. And you can coordinate towards objectives or form new objectives on the go, which is nice. You can also communicate with your team via phone calls or texts, which is also pretty cool. And you can also marker possible or identified enemy locations with map pointers, etc. If you want me to, I can do a separate video on all of these different use cases and tools in ITAK. However, I'm not qualified to do so, so I will just leave that to the bigger guys in this type of topic. Today is just a quick yap session about this topic. In Airsoft, you can pretty much translate the military use into Airsoft. But now comes the question, do you actually need ITAK or ATAK? Let's just call it TAK from now, to save time. We'll just call it TAK. If you play in a field where you can run from one end to another in under 1 minute, you don't need ITAK. I'm sorry. Especially if you're in a building, ITAK or TAK is basically useless, because you'll be in a different room and TAK will still show that you're on the same position on your phone. So if you're in a close quarters map or just in a really tight field, you don't really need it. It's not really useful. If you want to communicate and coordinate with your team in such a close environment, use your comms, especially if you know the map. You just say, hey, I'm at the retarded barrel around corner 7, and they're like, oh, I know where he is. And you're like, I'm looking towards the retarded barrel at corner 1, and you're like, oh, I know exactly where the enemy is. However, in bigger fields, there can be miscommunications, there can be misleading comments or orders, and there can also be people who aren't too familiar with some certain spots in the field because they just haven't been there enough to actually remember it and realize what you're talking about in a speedy manner. So if you're on a big field, big is up to definition here, just a relatively big field. As soon as you are in such a field, ATAK becomes very useful if you have already learned how to properly communicate with your teammates, which means, can I communicate the objective for our mission, or can I communicate our mission today? Can I communicate where we are going, why, and what we will be doing there in a manner that is actually comprehensible by my teammates? If you can learn the basics on just communication with comms and verbal communication, you can leverage TAC to your advantage. One of the moments that I specifically remember where TAC came to an advantage was when we were at a holding position in a compound, and the two teams, so we were a team split up into two firing squads, and both firing squad leaders were discussing where we should go and where the objective was, because they weren't really sure, because again, they weren't too familiar. I just popped my phone down, looked at the map, and told the team leader, hey, we need to go in that direction, and we went there, and it was successful. If it wasn't for that, we would have probably went to the wrong house. It would have been bad and not fun. So with, just taking the 10 minutes prior to the game to install icons on the specific houses on the map, I saved us a lot of time, energy, and also wasting our potential to have fun, because that's the most important part in Airsoft after looking cool. It's really simple if you just use the basics, like looking where am I, where the objective, and also maybe where are my teammates if they're connected to the same server. However, on the topic of ease of use, the map setup is really simple. You can learn it in under 5 minutes, adding icons, map borders, and all of that to ITAK or TAK is really simple. I did that in math class once because I was bored. It's really simple. Anybody can do this with an IQ above room temperature. To be honest, even under room temperature, because I know my following or my audience. I know my audience. You should be fine as well. However, server setups, I have no clue. I have to be completely honest with you guys. I have no fucking clue what I should be talking about here, because the guy that set up our server for our team is way more familiar with all of this type of stuff than I am. He just added me to the server. I'm not really qualified to do or to talk about this here. It is, however, very doable if you look at all the people on the field who actually use ITAK. They're not the smartest people. They just take the time. Like, just put on, I don't know, like a 30-minute video from Brass Facts or even Grantham if you want to, and just let it play in the background to satisfy your dopamine receptors and just work on the server. It's really simple, and that time spent programming the server can really help with your experience in the field LARPing. Yeah, so it's, as I said, simple to do. Just put your head down for like 5 to 30 minutes and just understand it, right? If you understand how to properly shoulder your rifle and aim, you can understand how TAC works. So yeah, in conclusion, it is somewhat of like an iceberg of stuff you can do with it. But if you really get into it step by step, you'll see it is simple, it is doable for the average consumer, and it's really worth it. Now, before we end this video, I want to go over ways to mount your phone. So obviously you could just use your private phone, buy those $10, $20 flip light navboard replicas off of Amazon. You're totally fine with that. I did that too, and they're good. They're great quality. They will hold up for Airsoft. However, I don't want to use my private everyday phone simply because I don't want it to get wet, dirty, or get even maybe shot if the lens isn't protected. That wouldn't be fun, which is the reason why I bought this case right here. So basically what I will do is, because I don't have a second SIM card or a second phone deal, which would be really outrageously expensive, I will provide hotspot with my private phone or everyday phone to my iPhone 8 here, and I will stuff my phone, my genuine phone, into this flap right here. Now I can put it here. I can put it into my trousers pockets if I want to. If I want to keep my front a little bit more slimline, if you understand what I'm saying, or in a shoulder pocket, a GP pouch. It really depends on where you want it. You're free to do whatever you want. I chose this because I keep everything on me, and it's the fastest way if I want to take pictures, because I'm a huge picture taking nerd. which is also partly the reason why I'm doing this YouTube channel. And for me, this case was the best solution because, again, the phone itself isn't as important to me. It's an old phone. I can just replace. I have 2 of these lying around, actually, 2 iPhone 8s. Well, one is an iPhone 7, but it's the same. I don't even know why Apple really. And the phone is fully protected. If I want to charge it or plug in headphones for whatever reason, I need to unscrew this right here, and I can charge it. If I don't want this flap, I can just push pins out right here and just take this off, and I could charge it while using it. It's also cool because then I could put a battery bank in my GP pouch or out a cable and just charge it from there. Again, nice to have. You can get really creative here. And the phone is completely protected, which is, again, nice because that way I don't have to replace my secondary phone, replacement phone, I don't know. And also I like the Juggernaut ones or the Kagwords ones where you can Hagworks ones where you can quickly take off your phone while still having it protected. So, for example, if I had one of those flip light ones, I would take it out and give it away, and then maybe a BB flies by and hits the camera and the camera's cooked. This way that won't happen. Even if I take it off the mount, it is still completely protected. Again, hand it off. I don't have to kiss anybody, and they can comfortably share it around with the other leaders. I'm just sitting there like, hey, I'm doing my part. And that's really nice. That's genuinely really good. And depending on what kind of phone you have, you can get replicas of AliExpress from FMA for like 20 to 30 bucks. I remember seeing iPhone 7 and 8 Plus, iPhone 7. The wider range of phones are covered. If you guys want me to do tutorials or other types of videos regarding ITAK, such as, you know, creating maps and all of that kind of stuff, I will gladly do so. Just tell me what you need and I will get into it, make a video, and teach you guys in a dumbed down manner that I can and you can understand. Anyways, again, that was my 2 cents on the matter. Get tech, spend some time learning how to do it, and you will have much more fun. I have a second grenade, so I'm just gonna throw that as well. See you guys next time. LARP. That opened up prematurely. That's not cool. Yeah, anyways, LARP.